types of effects, such as all fire and fire spells, or natural and magical lightning, or all force damage, or all thunder damage.
Hail and well met, and welcome back to more Realms Lore. I am here with the original creator of the Forgotten Realms, Ed Greenwood himself.
Hello.
And today we're talking about something that was sort of touched on in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, but really inspired a lot of imaginations out there, and that's magical tattoos. Want to fill them in a bit, bud?
Sure, yeah. It's time to tell you something about how magical tattoos work in the realms, how you get one, and who gives them to you.
Very cool. Very cool. And if you would like to continue supporting these videos on this channel and also get access to all sorts of other cool stuff, please consider going to patreon.com/edgreenwood and become a protector of the realms. Again, the support from those videos, your support on Patreon directly contributes to our ability to create these videos here for you today. So for now, let's get inked up. What do you think?
Yeah, if you want tats, watch this video. When magic gets under your skin. Magical tattoos in the realms. This is a vast topic, but here and now I can give you a quick overview, so here we go. The great majority of magical tattoos in the realms act as means of storing spells. When the right word of activation is uttered, silently or audibly, the tattoo vanishes and the spell is cast, that is, unleashed under the mental control of the tattoo wearer without need for verbal, somatic, or material components. If the particular spell needs them, they were used earlier when the spell was put into the tattoo. Other tattoos bind magical wards and defenses to the wearer, conferring limited immunities or spell reflection of specific effects or types of effects, such as all fire and fire spells, or natural and magical lightning, or all force damage, or all thunder damage. Moreover, warlocks and evil wizards may imprison minor demons within tattoos on their bodies that they can unleash under their control to fight for them, fetch items for them in emergencies, or help them escape grave peril. Magical tattoos can only be created by someone gifted, who knows and has mastered the right spells to imbue the tattoo he or she is personally creating by using the right sorts of pigments to mix with the blood of the tattoo recipient. Obsidian shard or batwing bone needles are commonly used, plus a cantrip that holds the imbuing process temporarily to free the tattooist's hands for the casting of any spells that tattoo is intended to store or to embody as a defense. It's possible for a gifted tattooist and third parties, as the spellcasters, to work together as a team, but the work must be precise and usually uninterrupted, so successful teams are rare, except within mage guilds that use tattoos as membership or initiation marks, and such tattoos almost always incorporate magical extras. Tattoos can be located anywhere on the body without impairing their effectiveness, so long as they are not constantly or frequently distorted by body movements, for instance, across a limb joint. They are often cited to either hide their existence or display it as a mark of pride or deterrence. Unlike made sigils or the runes and glyphs that are components of spells, tattoos may vary in shape and execution, yet still work as magical defenses or storage means. The effectiveness lies in the cantrip that fuses blood and the right pigment with a minor magic of imbuement, altering that fusion to a Dweomer-holding crucible. The magic to be stored or protected against is then applied, cast in the usual manner, but with its target or area of effect being the cantrip, and if it is a protection, a second and different cantrip is cast to make it lasting and to define when and how it shall protect. A third sort of cantrip will later be necessary to link one magical tattoo to another or to alter the means or conditions of triggering. Note that magical tattoos are different from the far rarer, for magical purposes, processes of branding and scarification. A scarification to create raised scars. I'll leave discussion of them for another time. The most common protective tattoo is against all fire. For this aids smiths, cooks, brickmakers, professional dragon slayers, and everyone else who must work with fire, as well as those who face it in the form of attacks. Such tattoos usually take the shape of an open, not pulled tight but left open so the strands can clearly be seen, double half hitch knot with flaming ends. The hitch being tied around one end, or long tail, passed horizontally through the rest of the knot. It can be twisted, curved, stylized, and incorporated into a decorative blazon or illustration without hampering its effectiveness. These sort of protective tattoos usually flare, glow with a pink or purplish hue when called upon or operating, and usually fade on the wearer's skin as their protective strength wanes over time and much exposure. A protection against lightning is likely the next most common protective tattoo, though no one is counting and keeping records, as it aids sailors who must work in frequently stormy seas and dock workers in harbors and shipyards. Among wizards, protections against force damage, such as magic missile spells, are likely the next most common tattoos. Popularities might be different here if those who know how to work tattoos that guard against charms and feeble mind spells and other means of mental influence and control, and against hostile or unwanted polymorphing, weren't so very rare, demand always far outstripping supply. Making magical tattoos typically takes most of a day for a simple one and most of 2 days for a complex one. They tend to be human palm-sized or less, unless overlaid by a larger concealing tattoo that's mere decoration, the creation of which may take another 1 to 3 days. And the cost is usually 1,200 gold pieces for the work, plus 260 gold pieces per cantrip beyond the initial imbuing cantrip, which is included in the base cost, plus the cost of spell casting, any stored spells or spells to be guarded against, which tends to be a base of 2,500 gold pieces per spell level. Practitioners, meaning artists who can and do craft magical tattoos, were in the 1350s DR concentrated in Kalimshan, but were hunted down there after 1450 DR by Illithids who feared wider human use of magical tattoos would allow too many humans to resist mind control. So their superior numbers would allow them to exterminate mind flayers. Tattoo makers of all sorts were almost eradicated in the region. Practitioners back then were also scattered around the inner sea ports and were numerous in the cities of Mimph, Samra, and Hlas in the Vilhon Reach. In Termish, they were shunned in Alagon and other cities, but were much visited in scattered rural hamlets where they kept low profiles and had to be found by means of guides hired by adventurers and wayfaring merchants. In Var the Golden, magical tattoos were socially accepted as what wealthy folk all get as a matter of course, and many practitioners dwelt in Selpir and Murmur. Very few survived the devastations of the spell plague and Second Sundering. By 1500 DR, kidnappings all across the realms by the likes of the Zentrim, the Red Wizards, the Wearers of the Purple, the Twisted Rune, and various local rulers have led most makers of magical tattoos to go behind closed doors. They don't have storefronts or, save in the most rural areas, operate out of their homes, but rather tend to be in back rooms of temples or city guilds or sometimes even exclusive adventurers' clubs, as open secrets of such places that those who pay for the right memberships or make the right offerings or are deemed suitable can get in to see. For instance, in Waterdeep, several nobles are said to host practitioners, but to keep quiet about it. Interested folk have to go through guilds and pay for doing so, such as the Watchful Order, to find out where and how to reach them. These hidden practitioners include Nemera Nine Spells, a delicate-looking but deadly young woman who's both an agile acrobat and a powerful wizard. Torthar Boldrin, a terse mountain of a half-orc who doubles as a weapons trainer for his noble host's household, and Hail Marormer, a Sembian who fled the Netherese occupation and his home country's grasping ways for good, he hopes. In Baldur's Gate, the best-known site for practitioners is Foregates, a mansion on Westfront Blackraven Lane about a block north of the lane's southern end. It's home to the reclusive Lord Aurevus Coulthor, a self-bestowed title, of course, a grasping miser who owns scores of merchant ships and makes tide-over loans to literally hundreds of city businesses. He keeps a mistress, Valencia Harvance, a rural Tesserian by birth, who is a wild talent sorcerer and who crafts magical tattoos quickly and efficiently, making herself and Coulthor lots of money in the process. In Neverwinter, seek out Mad Mara in the River District. She moves her workspace from inn, rented room to tavern upper room, using loyal and well-paid local adventurers as her bodyguards. Mara is an unlovely, overweight, middle-aged woman who is kind, calm, worldly-wise, and according to witnesses, hides real mage might behind her portly amiability. After they threatened her and sneered at her warnings, she once spell-hurled 3 Zentrum wizards out a window to their deaths, smashing into walls and roofs blocks away. In Marsember, ask for Vanathur, an assumed name, along the docks and expect to be escorted aboard a houseboat or covered barge to meet him. Many reports say Vanathur isn't human and has many arms, some say tentacles. He, or her, or it, is also magically powerful, once hurling a skiff end over ends through the air, shedding screaming passengers in all directions to crash down atop a dockside warehouse. In Selgaunt, it can take some time to find retired to tattoo-making, wasp-tongued, hardened adventurer wizard Sultra Carthun. Much asking in various low dockside taverns is usually involved. A seeker can be sure that Sultra or her spies will have scrutinized whoever's asking before allowing any meeting to take place. The local Temple of Joaquin may be involved as a meeting ground at Sultra's request. And in Westgate, the Temple of Mask employs several local thieves to act as go-betweens, linking 4 resident practitioners, rivals who don't like each other much, with clients. The temple takes a cut, of course. The most senior tattoo makers are the gruff, prodigiously strong Vrelder Marak and Tueldra Larmiron, who hides her true self in Kenku shape. There are, of course, many, many others. You may even find some of them if you're not careful.
I think little man will be fine.
Okay.
Just needs to...
Each time he coughs and chokes, this thing moves ahead.
That's amazing. I love it. My poor Roger.
Yeah.
My Chihuahua's misfortune is glitching our AI system. Give him the clap. Cauldron, okay. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, dude.
Do you want to do another, or do you want to call it a night?
Listen, I'm good as long as you are. If you want.